Forest mensuration. Okay, definition. Forest mensuration, also called dendrometric, deal with the quantification of forest, tree and forest product. Techniques is in forest mensuration is direct measurement, indirect measurement, the estimation procedures using statistical relationship prediction methods where it is a variable and logs and forest product measurement length, diameter, cubication, log rule and defect quality estimation statistical method prediction one time and volume functions and short timber conversion stockwood and tree measure dbs height bark and cubication steam analysis and volume fraction taper function bark function product assessment and steam table stand table height dbs relationship dbs distribution and volume functions and only parameter site quality growth and mortality inventory quantitative of tree volume and forest resource definition तिनमा definition and scope forest भने forest area an area set aside for the production of timber and other forest product a plant community predominantly of tree and other wood vegetation usually with a close canopy glossary according to FAO lands of 0.5 hectare भन्दा बढी with a tree canopy cover 10% भन्दा बढी which are not primarily under agriculture or urban land use and mensuration derived from Latin word mensura meaning measures definitions are measurement of length mass and time consideration both an art and science locating and measuring length of line area of plane and volume of solid and branch of mathematics concerned with determination length area and volume and त्यसपछि forest mensuration deals with determination of volume log tree and the stand study of increment and yield Grabs 1906 branch of forestry deal with dimension diameter height volume form age and increment of single tree stand or whole wood either standing or field and Chaturvedi and Khanna 1996 determination of dimension form weight growth and age of tree individuality or collectively and of the dimension of their product Helms 1998 are tools that provide fact about forest crops or individual tree to seller buyer planner manager and researcher the objective provide quantitative information regarding forest resource to enable reasonable decision and density use management and main objective basis for sale basis for management and mensuration for research and measurement for planning and provide the function of mensuration principle in forestry support inventory growth study yield determination and planning for sustainable forest management basis accuracy and precision true error and discrepancy true error difference between a measurement and the true volume and of quality of the quantity measure never known, because the true volume value is never exact known. Discrepancy, difference between true measure value of the same quantity, not an error, just a difference between measurement. Source of error चाहिँ instrumental, personal and natural. Instrumental, fault in tools or equipment. Mistakes or subjective judgment of observer. And natural, environmental factor like temperature, humidity, gravity, wind and magnetic declination. Kind of error, mistake, obvious error due to human blunder. Systematic error, cumulative error भन्छ. Repeatable error, often causing bias. Accidental error, compensating error, random error that may cancel each others. And bias, bias definitions: a systematic error arising from faulty measurement, producers, instrument, sampling flaw, computational error or recording mistake. Common source of bias in faulty measurement instrument: a survey tape 50 centimeter short, and sampling method error, uh, counting boundary tree inconsistency, and improper application of model functions. And volume function not checked for local forest. And subjectivity of operate, how to minimize bias. Okay, continual check of assumption, के अरे meticulous training of personnel, and careful use of infrastructure and method. Definition चाहिँ क्लोजनेस अफ अ मेजरमेन्ट टु द ट्रु भ्यालु. एक्युरेसी भने डिग्री अफ पर्फेक्सन अर सक्सेस इन एस्टिमेटिङ द ट्रु भ्यालु. अब्जेक्टिभ चाहिँ अब्टेन एकुरेट मेजरमेन्ट. फ्याक्टर एफेक्टिङ एक्युरेसी चाहिँ प्रिसाइज इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट एन्ड प्रपर मेथड र गुड प्लानिङ. त्यसपछि प्रिसिजन definition, degree of agreement among a series of measurement. Closeness of a measurement to the average value, refer to the definition of sample value about their mean characteristics. Precise and unbiased measurement are close to each other and the true value. Precise but basics measurement are close together but far from the true value. Imprecise measurement are scattered. And analogy, bully say unknown true population parameter. Hobbes parameter estimate from sample. Goals accurate, precise, unbiased measurement. Okay. Okay. Applicable to any forest management problem. Has a wide scopes, involve all stakeholder, labor and buyer. We can manager information, seller, contractor, planner, manager and forester, researcher. फरेस्ट मेन्सुरेसन भने चाहिँ यता टुल छ, यता म्यानेजर इन्फर्मेसन निड, त्यसपछि मेजरमेन्ट थ्योरी, त्यसपछि इरर, फरेस्ट चेन्जमा चाहिँ स्ट्यान्ड एन्ड फरेस्ट एन्ड इन्डिभिजुअल ट्री एन्ड मोनिटरिङ चेन्ज. त्यसपछि गएर वाट इज इन द फरेस्ट नाउ, individual tree and stand and forest र sampling. Scope of forest mensuration. त्यसपछि गएर measurement of standing tree, diameter measurement में definition, straight line passing through the center of a circle or sphere touching the circumference at both end. Important sign directly measurable dimension to compute cross sectional area, volume, and inventory of growing stocks. um, Correlated with high volume age increment and dbs diameter at breast height. And definitions: the average strip diameter outside bark or 1.3 meter above ground. And significance: standard for timber, fuel wood, and forest product estimation. Convenient, economical, and avoid root oil base abnormalities. Provide a uniform reference for inventory and research. Rule for devious measurements: remove most cheapers loose bark. Measure at 1.3 meter above ground on a level ground. And mark breast height point with interesting vertical and horizontal line. 12 centimeter pointed white. Slope land sloping land measure on uphill. And leaning tree measure along stem or side of lean or uphill slope. Abnormal stem at breast height, shift slightly up down for normal diameter. Fork tree, fork above माने counted as one tree. Fork below each fork is separated tree. Diameter measurement भने चाहिँ common instrument diameter tape caliper. diameter tape र क्यालिपर क्या गरे हुन्छ बिल्ट स्टिक्स र अप्टिकल इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट र कलेक्टिभ टर्म चाहिँ डेन्ड्रोमिटर. त्यसपछि गएर चाहिँ हाइट मेजरमेन्ट चाहिँ डेफिनेसन भर्टिकल डिस्टेन्स फ्रम ground to tip of tree. Needed for volume calculation, volume table, form factor table, yield table, and site quality estimation. Component of tree height: total height, ground tip of tree along stem, and bole height भने crown point, first crown forming branches. And commercial bole height भने bole feet for timber utilization. Standard timber bole height भने bole unit. Average diameter 20 भन्दा बढी ओभरबार्क. स्टम्प हाइट भने बेस अफ कट युजली 15 देखि 30 सेन्टिमिटर. क्राउन लेन्थ टिप midway point between lowest green branches and crown top. And crown height ground and midway point between lowest green branches and crowns. And principle of height measurement means hypsometer. Okay, principle based on geometry, similar triangles or trigonometry, sine and transit law. And trigonometric instrument means Brandeis hypsometer, Ebony lever. Trigonometric triangle means Brandeis, Ebony, Yega altimeter. Topographical Ebony level. Relapscope, relapse bar and Stroud dendrometer. Blue के त Blimless hypsometer and mnemonics. You can see tangent law. We can see study tangent law applicable to right angle triangle for accurate result. Tree must not lean more than 5 degree भन्दा कम बरु lean भएको. त्यसपछि from the vertical and the fixed horizontal distance must be determined by tapped measurement. Tan theta is equals to AB by BC and S is equals to D tan theta. Tangent law applicable to right angle triangle for accurate result. Tree must not lean more than 5 degree from the vertical and the fixed horizontal distance must be determined by tape measurement. Tan theta is equals to AB हेरौँ AB हैन tan theta भने AB यहाँ B छ हैन AB by BC, AB by BC, त्यसपछि गएर चाहिँ इन्टु H. ओके, AB by BC, द्याट्स इट, AB by BC है त, यताबाट यता, यताबाट यता, त्यसपछि H इज टु हाम्रो यहाँ H छ होइन, H इज टु D इन्टु टेन थिटा, D भने कहाँ छ, D भइगयो यो इजको टेन थिटा, ओके, D इन्टु यो टेन थिटा। त्यसपछि गएर साइन ल एप्लिकेबल टु नो राइट एङ्गल ट्रायङ्गल, साइन जहिले नि नो राइट एङ्गल ट्रायङ्गल है त। त्यसपछि अर्को गएर त्यसपछि इज युजफुल इन ड्राइभिङ ट्री हाइट इन डिफिकल्ट कन्डिसन्स एन्ड साइन अफ एङ्गल आर प्रोपोर्सनल टु द अपोजिट साइड। त्यसपछि गएर साइन साइन भन्दा एबिसी, ओके, एबिसी ओके, बाई साइन कोण एबिसी बाई एबी, कोण एबिसी बाई एबी, के त हाम्रो एबिसी बाई एसी, एबी है त, बराबर कोण सिएबी, सिएबी, सी छ, ए छ, बी छ, बी बाई बिसी होइन। त्यसपछि इजकस टु साइन एबिसी, एबिसी इजकस टु बाई एसी, ए र सी, यस्तो हुनु पर्यो। अर्को छ जियोमेट्रिकल प्रिन्सिपल अफ सिमिलर ट्रायङ्गल, कोरस्पोन्डिङ एङ्गल आर इक्वल एन्ड द कोरस्पोन्डिङ साइड आर प्रोपोर्सनल, इक्वल र प्रोपोर्सनल हुनु पर्यो कोरस्पोन्डिङ साइड। बाई नोइङ द टु साइड अफ अ ट्रायङ्गल एन्ड ओन्ली वान साइड अफ द अदर, द कोरस्पोन्डिङ सेकेन्ड साइड अफ द लेटर क्यान बी फर्म। अब युजफुल इन रफ इस्टिमेसन, not reliable for precise work, Christian hypsometer, Smith's hypsometer, and you can see AB by AB is equals to BC by BC, okay, AB by AB is equals to BC by, यहाँतिरबाट पनि छोटो BC हुनु पर्यो, AB is equals to AB ए र बी इन्टु बिसी, बिसी बाई बिसी, अर्को यहाँतिर छोटो बिसी हुनु पर्यो। त्यसपछि बेसिक एजम्सन इन मेजरमिङ स्ट्यान्डिङ ट्री चाहिँ, ट्री इज भर्टिकल, टिप एन्ड बेस अफ द ट्री आर साइमल्टेनियसली भिजिबल, डाइरेक्ट मेथड अफ हाइट मेजरमेन्ट, क्लाइम्बिङ विथ ट्याप एन्ड ग्रेजुएटेड पोल, एक्युरेट डाइरेक्ट मेजरमेन्ट अफ टोटल हाइट। त्यसपछि गएर प्र्याक्टिकेबल फर सर्टेन स्पिसिस एन्ड कन्डिसन्स। त्यसपछि गएर कस्टली एन्ड डेन्जरस एन्ड युजली फर एक्सपेरिमेन्टल प्रोजेक्ट, एन्ड हाइट स्टक अर रोड, रिलायबल मेथड विथ इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट इरर 1% भन्दा कम, लिमिटेसन चाहिँ एक्सपेन्सिभ्स फर ट्री 20% भन्दा बढी, एन्ड की पोइन्ट फर इक्जाम डाइरेक्ट मेथड चाहिँ मोस्ट एक्युरेट बट लिमिटेड इन प्र्याक्टिस, एजम्सन मस्ट बी सेटिस्फाइड अदरवाइज इरर इन्क्रिज, एन्ड इन्डाइरेक्ट मेथड नन इन्स्ट्रुमेन्टल मेथड एन्ड इन्स्ट्रुमेन्टल मेथड। नन इन्स्ट्रुमेन्टल मेथडमा चाहिँ Shadow method, a pole of convenient length is fixed upright in the ground and its height above the ground is measured. The shadow of the pole and the tree are also measured. AB, we can look AB, A र यो ठुलो B भने चाहिँ ठुलो ए र ठुलो बी भनेको चाहिँ एबी बाई एबी हो। त्यसपछि बिडी होइन, बिडी बाई बिडी हो। अर्थात् एबी बाई एबी इजकस टु, अब ल फाइनलमा एबी इजकस टु बिडी होइन, बी र डी इन्टु एबी बाई बिडी, एबी बाई बिडी। Okay, and we can see single pole method. Okay, pole of above 1.5 meter length vertically at arm length in one hand is such a way that portion of the pole above the hand is equal in length to the distance of the pole from I. AB by AB is equals to EB by EB, that is AB is equals to EB into AB by EB, where AB is equals to tree, AC is equals to pole about 1.5 meter length long, EB is equals to AB, EB ठुलो E र B is equals to AB। त्यसपछि इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट मेथड, by using instrument like ipsometer, clinometer, altimeter and Ebney level. All these instruments are based either on geometrical principle of similar triangle or on trigonometric principle. Instrument used in height measurement, Christian ipsometer. We can see Christian ipsometer. It is based on the geometrical relationships of similar triangle and consist of a stripe of metals, thin wood or cardboard about 2.5 centimeter wide and 33 centimeter length. It is not suitable for more than 30 meter tree height. The following proportion gives the formula for graduating the instrument is AC by AC is equals to AB by AB. Okay, हुनु पर्यो। We can see AB by AB, AC by AC. Okay, gives length of instrument AB and a given pole length or mark height AC. The graduation AC can be obtained by stimulating different value of height AB in the equation shown to clinometer. Forest tools you will use the clinometer require the most practice and skills, assuming that the tree growing at a right angle. त्यसपछि गएर to the ground even on a slope, we use the clinometer at one chain is equals to 66 feet or 19.8 meter away from the tree using the following steps. With both eye open, aim the black cross hair of the clinometer level with the base of the tree at soil. Using the right hand scales, the length scale is for measuring percentage of slopes. You will read a negative number if the tree is on level ground or down slopes. You will read a positive number if the tree is on up slope. With both eye open, aim the black crosshair of the clinometer to the top of the tree. This is a tricky measurement because your view may be observed by leaf or nearly by tree branches. If the top of the tree are an open umbrella, you want to be aiming at the point on the top of the umbrella. Subtract the number. Okay, if your eye is at a level between the base of the tree and the top, the two numbers are added together to determine total height. If your eye is below the level of the base of the tree upslopes from you, the base reading must be subtracted from the top reading to determine total height. त्यसपछि ebony level, it is used to determine tree height as well as land elevation. Ebony level, the instrument consists of a graduated ARC mounted on a sighting tube about 6 inch length. The arcs may have a degree, percentage, or topographical scales. The ebony level, geometrics, clinometer, sighting tubes without bubble mirror, and measure tree height and land elevation, simple and inexpensive, and slow, limited slow, difficult for taller, accurate 0.5 plus minus meter for 20 meter tree, 2.5%. ओके, हेगा अल्टिमिटरको कुरा गरौँ. ग्राभिटी controlled damp pointer with rotatable scales. Quick measurement require skill to read accurately. Spiegel relescopes, optical measurement, mechanical measure, sophisticated, versatile, costly, required practice. त्यसपछि भर्टेक्स आईवी प्लस ट्रांसपोंडेंट T3, ultrasonic plus clinometer, measure distance and angle, height precision, work in dense forest slopes corrected, and expenses used by FRTC and some DFO. And PQ's sonic tomographs is sound wave transit time non-destructives, detect internal decay, hollow, pruning, wood, 2D and 3D imaging, mainly for safety and timber quality advantage setups. And tree stem form and taper, decrease in diameter of stems log from base to top. Factor affecting tab is species age, site, crop density, and tree position. Stem geometry by portion, बेस चाहिँ निलोइड र फ्रस्टम हुन्छ, मिडिल चाहिँ प्याराबोलोइड हुन्छ. बेस चाहिँ निलोइड फ्रस्टम र मिडिल चाहिँ प्याराबोलिक फ्रस्टम, टप कोन भयो. मर्जर थ्योरी चाहिँ गिर्डर थ्योरी हुन्छ, मर्जर थ्योरीलाई गिर्डर थ्योरी. ट्री स्टेम एज अ cantilever beam under wind pressure. Wind act on crown, transmitted down stem, and base reinforced naturally. Taper varies with competition. Isolated tree, taper increase, र dense stand, taper decrease. And we can see हामीले यो हेर्न सक्छौँ. Mathematical relation for cantilever under wind, S is equals to P into L by 32 into D3. P, force at free end. L, distance from force to section. D, diameter at section. S, bending tree, kg per cm square. त्यसपछि गएर ebony level and Haga altimeter. Optical method need practice. Vertex IV, modern ultrasonic, high accurate, and peacocks not destructives for internal defense. Tapering natural process but influenced by competition and site. Merger theory explain natural stems, reinforcement at base, and measurement of field tree and logs. Basal area, cross section area of stems at breast height. Built round wood 1 meter long, usually for pulp or firewood. Cool, portion of stem or log that is unmarketable. Log, length of stem or branch after filling and trimming. And measurement of wood and firewood. Spherical measurement, bark should be removed before measurement. Length measurement, logs measure from 4 inch above bottom and 0.5 feet up to 8 inch and above 8 measurement 8 inch measured in math feet. Okay, therefore sound timber, sound wood length, cut of split part, measure to nearest inch, width and height, outer portion measure and rotten bruised part remove. And firewood, measure on a scales standard chatta 20 5 5 is equals to 500 CFT 14-16 meter cube. Unit of measurement, feet or inch. Volume in cubic feet. Measurement of diameter and section area of logs. And basal area pi d square by 4. Instrument in diameter, tape, caliper, optical instrument wo, cross section area, basal area wo. D is equals to diameter of log. And volume calculation of log is equals to log. Look at this. प्रिज्मा अर्थात् न्यूटन, न्यूटनलाई प्रिज्मा पनि भनिन्छ. L/6 S1 plus 4 SM plus S2 मोस्ट एक्युरेट फर फ्रस्टम अफ निलोइड. फ्रस्टम अफ निलोइडमा एक्युरेट हुन्छ और प्याराबोलाइडमा पनि. युज टु चेक अदर फर्मुला. डिफिकल्ट टु स्टक लक, हो स्टक लकमा डिफिकल्ट हुन्छ. स्मालियन 1/2 S1 plus S2 gives 78.5% of cylinder volume and 21.5% loss. use for stack log. stack log मा चाहिँ स्मालियन फर्मुला युज गर्ने. ओभर इस्टिमेट, स्मालले ओभर इस्टिमेट फ्रस्टम अफ प्याराबोलाइड चाहिँ ओभर इस्टिमेट गर्छ. ह्युबर फर्मुला V is equals to L into SM. use mid section area, easier and more accurate than स्मालियन. अन्डर इस्टिमेट भोल्युम, यसले चाहिँ ह्युबरले अन्डर इस्टिमेट गर्छ. डिफिकल्ट फर स्टक लगमा है त. क्वार्टर गर्थ त होपस, क्वार्टर गर्थ त होपस फर्मुला B is equals to L/4 G/4 square by L. use log गर्थ एट मिडिल एन्ड स्ट्यान्डर्ड इन नेपाल and UK for sale and simple to apply. Where BBI volume of logs, S1 S2 S1 is section area at thick, length girth. Standard side of stack 514.16 एक चट्टामा मीटर क्यूब. diameter measurement, base for basal area and volume calculation. Prismoidal newtons most accurate. Smalian practical for stack log. Hupo quarter girth used for sale in Nepal and UK. Standard chatta 500 CFT including 8 spare. Concept of volume table and yield. Volume table or table showing the average volume of tree, log or sound timber for given tree dimension. And dimension using dbs, diameter at best height, dbs plus height, dbs height from. Okay, purpose estimate volume of tree or crops, basis for forest, inventory, yield regulation and management. Variable, most important diameter, next height, last form and type of volume table चाहिँ variable, one variable dbs low and easy, two variable dbs height, regional, local and more accurate. Diameter, three variable dbs height and form, most accurate, expensive, time consuming. And Sweden and England prepared, Sweden and England prepare. त्यसपछि जनरल भोल्युम टेबल, टी ओभर लार्ज जियोग्राफिकल एरिया. फर जनरल भोल्युम टेबलको फर्मुला V is equals to A plus B D square H. B is equals to A plus B D square H. जनरलको. रिजनलको चाहिँ ट्री इन अ स्पेसिफिक रिजन. V is equals to A plus BD plus CD square. A plus BD, A plus B d plus cd square, okay, or v is equals to b d square by h, d bd square h भयो, b is equals to रिजनल र लोकलमा चाहिँ v is equals to ab, v is equals to ab abd plus cd square, abd plus cd square, estimate standard tree volume before filling, regulate yield according to working plan, derive from general and regional volume based on kind of outturn, standard volume of standard timber from ground to diameter 20 centimeter over bark, include stems and exclude bark for stems and include bark for small timber 5 देखि 20 सेन्टिमिटर। त्यसपछि कमर्सियल भोल्युम टेबल, भोल्युम अफ राउन्ड टिम्बर है, डाउन टु द थिन इन्ड डायमिटर स्टम ओमिटेड होइन। त्यसपछि साउन्ड आउटटर्न टेबल चाहिँ भोल्युम अफ साउन्ड टिम्बर डाउन टु थिन इन डायमिटर स्टम भोल्युम ओमिटेड। एसेसमेन्ट टेबल, भोल्युम अफ राउन्ड टिम्बर डाउन टु भेरियस थिन इन डायमिटर 25, 20 र 15। स्ट्यान्डर्ड कमर्सियल एन्ड टेबल आर स्पेसियल केस। साउन्ड आउटटर्न एसेसमेन्ट टेबल similar to assortment table but give number of standardized sound piece instead of round volume, and key point for volume table, estimate standing tree volume quick without filling, variable devious most important, height and form improve accurately, and scope चाहिँ local, easy, quick, regional and customized, general, large area। आउटटर्न टेबल चाहिँ स्ट्यान्डर्ड हुनु पर्यो, कमर्सियल, साउन्ड, एसेसमेन्ट, डिपेन्ड्स अन टिम्बर टाइप एन्ड इन्ड युज, यु क्यान सी। त्यसपछि गएर स्ट्यान्डर्ड भोल्युम टेबल चाहिँ v is equals to a plus b d plus cd square or bd square h, general for specific region, include all part of tree, estimate total tree volume, bole plus branches up to tip, commercial, estimate marketable stem volume up to commercial height, v is equals to bd square h है त, v is equals to bd square h, exclude stems, top branches use for trade and valuation। साउन्ड आउटटर्न estimate चाहिँ estimate volume of sound timber converted wood from a log b, a plus bd plus cd square, okay, a plus b d plus cd square, or bk is equals to k is equals to time b, and k is equals to sawmill conversion factor 0.45 देखि 0.6 conversion factor 45 देखि 6, so volume after conversion। and assessment table, classification of log into graded produce, pole, slipper and pulp, volume by diameter and length category, no single formula based on size and quality cases। sound outcome assessment table चाहिँ combine conversion and classification into specific timber product and volume by category, k is equals to k into b, okay। solo yield for assessment classes after showing yield table, growth and yield table definition। yield table provide information on expected growth, yield and development of a forest stand over time, considering tree growth, mortality and requirement, purpose the long term forest planning, predict forest development under different management and site condition, optimize rotation length, thinning schedules and sustainable harvest, and factor consider the initial tree density, initial initial tree density, growth rate, and mortality rate, stand character, type of yield table. Okay, type of yield table, basics variable characters are normal yield table, age, site specific constant, and full stock stand, depict relationship between volume per unit area and stand parameter, density is held constant, convenient for geographical construction, empirical yield मतलब average stand characteristics not fully stocks, easier sampling, reflect average stand density encountered in the field, useful for general trend. त्यसपछि गएर भेरिएबल डेन्सिटी यिल्ड टेबल चाहिँ एज साइट एन्ड स्ट्यान्ड क्वाइल डेन्सिटी इन्क्लुड थ्री भेरिएबल यूज बेसल एरिया unit, measure diameter or density indicate to define density classes useful for abnormal stand, instead attack, drop, fire or functioning product demand. त्यसपछि गएर नर्मल इज इक्वल्स टु आइडियल फुल्ली स्टक स्ट्यान्ड, empirical average typical field condition, variable density, flexible include density variable, good for abnormal or uneven stand, and normal yield table भने give maximum theoretical yield under ideal fully stock condition, y is equals to f aq based on age and site quality, assume for stocking, no damage, ideal theoretical yield, empirical yield table, and give actual observed yield from sample plot or historical data, y is equals to a plus b a plus c a square. Okay, based on field data, reflect real stand condition, simple construction, and variable density yield table, show yield at different stocking densities, not fully stock forest, y is equals to f aqd age, site quality, and density used for abnormal र partial stand. Okay, tips for remembering normal, ideal, theoretical, empirical, observed, actual, and variable density भने फ्लेक्सिबल र इन्क्लुड डेन्सिटी. त्यसपछि ट्री भोल्युम क्यालकुलेसन चाहिँ सिलिन्ड्रिकललाई चाहिँ पायर स्क्वायर हैन, ट्री सिलिन्डर छ भने पायर स्क्वायर, सिम्पल मेथड सुइटेबल फर युनिफर्म स्टिम्स अफ्टन अब्जर्भ ओभर स्टिमेट ट्यापरिङ, सोलिड सिलिन्ड्रिकल. त्यसपछि स्मालियन फर्मुला चाहिँ v इज इक्वल्स टु एल s1 प्लस s2 बाई 2. ओके, इरेगुलर लग एन्ड स्ट्याक एक्युरेट हो हैन, डिभाइड लग इन्टु सेक्सन, मोर एक्युरेट फर इरेगुलर लग्स, यूज फर स्टक लग, फ्रक्चर अफ प्याराबोलॉइड और सिलिन्ड्रिकल, जियोमेट्रिक शेप्स एप्रोक्सिमेट paraboloid, Huber v is equal to sm into l, middle section areas easier than smaller, slightly underestimated volume, paraboloid, fracture of paraboloid, cone चाहिँ v is equals to sl by 3, cone v is equals to SL S into SL by 3, approximate taper is a cone, simple but less accurate, fracture of cone, and niloid fracture method चाहिँ v is equals to L by 2 S1 plus S2, approximate base tap near area, and fracture of niloid. त्यसपछि गएर निलोइड फ्रक्स्ट्रम मेथड चाहिँ v is equals to s1 plus s2 by 2 into l, approximate basal taper near tree, and frustum of a niloid, प्रिज्मोइडल नेटवर्क चाहिँ V इज इक्वल्स टु S प्लस 4SM प्लस S2 by 6 into L, and most accurate method account for taper used to check error, and frustum of Nilois paraboloid or cones, and length चाहिँ S1 section area at the base thick end, and S2 section area at the top thin end, and SM is section area at middle of logs, and L is equal to length of log tree sections, and tree basal area. Basal area is the correct section area of a tree stem at breast height. Formula: basal area is equal to pi r square, pi d square by 4, r radius at devious, diameter at breast height. Use indicate tree density, stand composition, and site productivity. Basis for volume table and forest inventory. Volume of stock wood, fuel wood and logs by log. Stand चट्टा 586 14.16. Volume measurement multiply length with height, subtract air space is required. Biomass estimation. Tree biomass is total mass of organic matter in a tree above ground plus below ground. General biomass is equals to volume into wood density kg per meter cube. Volume into wood density भने biomass. Quick cylinder simple uniform Ismailian section average stock log Huber middle area easy slide low prismoidal network Newtons most accurate taper include. Okay, tree basal area. Okay, tree को basal area. Cross section area of a tree stem at breast height usually 1.3 4.5 feet above ground. Indicator stand density, site productivity, and volume estimation. Our basal area is equal to pi d square by 4, and basis for volume table is forest inventory and stand management. Volume of stock wood is total volume of fell or harvested tree stock in piles, and measurement measure length width height of stocks, and note चाहिँ for irregular stocks take average dimensions. Standard stock is in Nepal is 14-16 मिटर क्यूब. फर्मुला चाहिँ बी लम्बाइ चौडाइ उचाइ, and tree biomass calculation चाहिँ total mass of living tree above and below, and devious height wood density use allometric equation. Nepal specific above ground biomass formula चाहिँ 0.0509 into p into d square into s. Okay, यो p भने wood density ग्राम पर cm क्यूब, d dbs सेन्टिमिटर, त्यसपछि हाइट ट्री हाइट मिटर. टोटल बायोमास पर हेक्टर, टोटल बायोमास केजी पर हेक्टर भने चाहिँ एजीबी बाई ट्री इन्टु ट्री पर हेक्टर्स. एन्ड एडिसनल नोट चाहिँ बायोमास क्यान अल्सो बी ड्राइभ फ्रम ट्री भोलम. बायोमास भोलम वुड बायोमास conversion factor. Conversion factor are specific and environmental depends. Useful for carbon stock estimation, forest management and ecosystem services. त्यसपछि forest survey and inventory. Concept of forest survey. Definition: systematic and comprehensive process of collecting, analyzing and interpreting data on forest and their resources. Purpose: use in forest management, assess forest composition, structure and biodiversity, evaluate forest health and resources, support manage decision planning and conversion strategy, provide data for harvesting, silvicultural operation and policy making. Map and plan. Okay, definition. Map, graphical representation of feature of near or below the surface at the large scale. Plan भयो म्याप, म्यापमा चाहिँ प्रेजेन्टेसन अफ फिचर अ स्मल स्केल, स्केल चाहिँ 1:500देखि 1:1000, 1:50,000देखि 1:2,50,000. ओके, डिटेलमा चाहिँ सो माइन्युट डिटेल, यसले चाहिँ एकदम माइन्युट डिटेल दिन्छ म्यापले, सरी प्लानले. रोम, वाल एन्ड प्लट, सो जनरल फिचर रिभर, रोड एन्ड बाउन्ड्रिज. एरिया चाहिँ कभर चाहिँ स्मल एरिया, बिल्डिङ, प्लट एन्ड लोकल साइट. लार्ज एरिया, टाउन, डिस्ट्रिक्ट, कन्ट्री एन्ड कन्टिनेन्ट. युज इन्जिनियरिङ, आर्किटेक्ट एन्ड ल्यान्ड सर्वे, जियोग्राफी, नेभिगेट, फरेस्ट एन्ड ल्यान्ड म्यानेजमेन्ट. त्यस इक्जाम्पल बिल्डिङ प्लान, भिलेज प्लट प्लान, बिल्डिङ प्लान, भिलेज प्लान, political map, topographical map and forest government. Key point on plan, usually only horizontal distance and distance are shown. On topographical map, vertical distance are also presented using contour lines, houses or other method. Forest survey often use maps for visualization and planning of management opportunities. Scale in plan and map is scale in the fixed ratio of distance on a plan map to the corresponding distance on the ground. It allows accurate measurement and representation of real world distance on paper. Type of scale representation is engineering scales, descriptive scales, and describe distance in unit of length, and 1 centimeter is equals to 10 meter. And representative fraction means numerical scales, dimension ratio independent of unit, and 1:1000. 1 unit on map is equals to 1000 unit of on ground. And graphical scale bar scale भयो, a line subdivided into ground unit, useful when map shrink, expand, can be used after year, accurate even if map size change. And conversion means engineer scale, representative fraction is possible. Choice of cell of for different application is building site 1 centimeter भने चाहिँ 10 मिटर or less. काडस्ट्रल म्यापमा चाहिँ 1 सेन्टिमिटर बराबर 5 मिटर. लोकेसन सर्वे 1 सेन्टिमिटर 50 मिटर. जियोग्राफिकल म्याप 1 सेन्टिमिटर 5 किलोमिटर. एन्ड टाइप अफ मेजरिङ स्केल चाहिँ प्लेन स्केल, मेजर 2 डाइमेन्सन, मिटर एन्ड डेसिमल, डेसिमिटर, सिम्पल सो युनिट एन्ड सब युनिट ओन्ली. डायगोनल मेजर 3 डाइमेन्सन, मिटर, डेसिमल and decimeter and centimeter. Use similar triangle, more precise than plane scale. Vernier scale measures fractional part of smallest divisions. It has sliding auxiliary scales alongside main scale. Scale of chords used to set off or measure angle, found on protectors or boxwood scale. Okay, angular use. And key point plane used for construction, building, house and small area and large scale. Map used for representing large area, country, forest and region, small scale. Graphical scale best for long term use as it adjusts proportionality if the plan shrink. Forest survey map and scales. Concept: scale is the fixed ratio that relate distance on a plan map to the corresponding distance on the ground. होइन 1:20,000 1 सेन्टिमिटर on map र 20,000 meter on ground. Distance of 15 centimeter on map with scale 1:500, 15x5/75 मिटर on ground. Map area 40 स्क्वायर सेन्टिमिटर स्केल 1:300 भन्यो भने ग्राउन्ड एरिया 40 × 9 = 360 स्क्वायर मिटर. इरर ड्यू टु रङ स्केलिङ चाहिँ इरर ड्यू टु वर्क रङ स्केल. करेक्ट लेन्थ चाहिँ होइन आरएफ अफ रङ स्केल अर्थात् आरएफ अफ करेक्ट स्केल इन्टु मेजर लेन्थ. ओके, रङ स्केल बाई करेक्ट स्केल इन्टु मेजर लेन्थ. करेक्ट एरिया अब लेन्थको कुरा हो, त्यो एरियाको कुरा चाहिँ होइन. रङ स्केल स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टु करेक्ट स्केल स्क्वायर इन्टु क्यालकुलेटेड एरिया. एन्ड shrunk scale if the plane shrink due to atmospheric condition भयो भने shrink scale is shrinkage factor into original scale. Shrinkage factor is equals to shrunk length upon actual length. Okay, example, original line is 6 cm, shrinkage line is 5.8 cm. Original scale is equals to 1:500. Shrinkage scale is equal to 5.8/6 into 500 is equals to 1:517.24. Okay, point to remember in survey work. Survey work divided into 3 part: field work, office work or care adjustment of instrument, measurement of angle, distance record in field notebook, office work drafting, computing and designing, care and judgment of instrument, principal work from word to part र arc bs chord. A 12 km SR on earth is only 1 cm long than the substandard chord. Surveying is the art of determining relative position, preparing map and finding point using angular linear measurement. Maps show horizontal and vertical projection of an area. Geodetic survey consider earth shapes, polar axial axis shorter than equatorial by 42.95 km. त्यसपछि cadastral survey consider transferring large land property and linear measurement चाहिँ direct measurement, physical measure or ground tape chain, optical measurement use telescopes and torsiometry and triangulation. Electronic methods use radio, light waves, geodimeter, tellurimeter, Decca navigator, lambda position fixed system, diameter measurement, pacing चाहिँ distance, number of pace into average pace length भने 0.7 meter. Pasometer register pace count automatically. Pedometer measure total distance by pace. Odometer speedometer measure wheel revolution, distance is equals to rev into circumference. And chaining measurement using chain or tape. And most accurate diameter method, metric chain चाहिँ कति 5, 10, 20, 30 मिटर, mark in meter. Braces for long chain and Gunter chain 66 feet, soil link. कुन्टर भने 66 फिट, सोइलिङ 10 चेन इज इक्वल्स टु 1 फर्लङ हुन्छ र 80 चेन इज इक्वल्स टु 1 माइल. इन्जिनियरिङ 100 फिटको हुन्छ, इन्जिनियरिङ सोइलिङको हुन्छ. ब्रास ले टेप्स एट एभ्री 10 लिङ्क्स. रेभिन्यू चेन 33 फिट, 16 लिङ्क युज इन क्याडस्ट्रल सर्वे. स्टिल ब्यान्ड 20 देखि 30 मिटर, 12 देखि 16 mm with accurate but fragile. Taper cloth length accurate, shrink metallic र accurate 2 to 50 meter. Steel चाहिँ 1 to 50 meter, light and delicate. inver high precision low thermal expansion and marking tools चाहिँ एरो इन्स्ट्रेट एट चेन लेन्थ 25 देखि 50 सेन्टिमिटर पेग मार्क स्टेसन 15 मिटर लेन्थ एन्ड रेन्जिङ रड 2 to 3 meter for intermediate point and ranging poles 4 to 8 meter and a long line with flex र offset rod 3 meter measure offset alignment plaster length 1 meter crossing depression or obstacles and with paper sticks temporary making marking and plumb bulb vertical alignment centering instrument and ranging and chaining ranging fix intermediate point during chain type चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट रेन्जिङ र इन्डाइरेक्ट रेन्जिङ हुन्छ टु इन्टरभिजिबल जति बेला चाहिँ टु इन्ड पोइन्ट should be intervisible by eye or line ranger theodolite line ranger two plane mirror or right angle prism indirect reciprocal ranging end not intervisible use intermediate instrument chaining measurement of line length using chain tape experienced chainman remains at 0 end and example of scale calculation में distance cover conversion चाहिँ map distance 15 सेन्टिमिटर स्केल 1:500 ग्राउन्ड इज टू 15 into 5 इज टू 75 एरिया मेजरमेंट मैप एरिया 40 स्क्वायर सेन्टिमिटर स्केल 1:300 छ भने ग्राउन्ड एरिया 40 into 9 इज टू 360 श्रिङ्क स्केल श्रिङ्क लाइन 5.8 सेन्टिमिटर ओरिजिनल 6 सेन्टिमिटर ओरिजिनल स्केल 1:500 श्रिङ्क स्केल 1:517.24 अदर युजफुल कन्भर्जन 1 रोपनी 500 मिटर स्क्वायर हुन्छ 1 रोपनीमा र एकजनाले रोपेपछि 500 स्क्वायर 1 स्क्वायर माइलमा 640 एकर हुन्छ अर्थात् 258.9 हेक्टर 1 स्क्वायर माइलमा 1 माइल स्क्वायर माइलमा चाहिँ 258.9 हेक्टर 1 मिटर भने चाहिँ 1.09 3.28 फिट र 39.39 इन्च हुन्छ फरेस्ट सर्वे इरर करेक्सन एन्ड एक्युरेसी इरर ड्यू टु इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट ओके ड्यू टु इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट चाहिँ इफ चेन इज टु लङ मेजर डिस्टेन्स चाहिँ ट्रु डिस्टेन्स भन्दा ठुलो ट्रु डिस्टेन्स हुन्छ अब इरर के हुन्छ नेगेटिभ हुन्छ करेक्सन पोजिटिभ हुनु पर्यो इफ चेन इज टु सर्ट मेजर डिस्टेन्स लामो हुन्छ ट्रु डिस्टेन्स कम हुन्छ र इरर पोजिटिभ आउँछ र करेक्सन नेगेटिभ ओके ए लेन्थ ट्रु अर designated chain taper length L actual incorrect chain tape length I true length of line I measure length of line okay correction of measure length is equals to L is equals to L by L into L okay अब correction to measure area is equal L by L square into A okay measure of computed area chaining on slope ground object measure horizontal distance from slope measurement direct method of stepping horizontal distance measure in small horizontal steps along the slope indirect method angle method horizontal distance is equals to length cos theta slope distance into cos theta and difference in level method is difference in level method माने horizontal distance is equals to root under L square minus H square okay yes difference in elevation L slope distance hypotensial allocation correction applied at every chain length where slope change allowable is equals to 100 sec theta minus 1 link. And if slope expressed as 1 inch n, rise 1 unit per n horizontal unit, small formula applied. Error in chaining type of error cumulative error सेम डिरेक्सन भने एक्युमुलेट हुन्छ. कम्पेन्सेटिङ एरर चाहिँ भेराइङ डाइरेक्सनमा हुन्छ, टेन टु क्यान्सल आउट. पर्सनल मिस्टेक चाहिँ ड्यु टु इनएटेन्सन इनएक्सपिरियन्स अर पोर जजमेन्ट. डिस्प्लेसमेन्ट अफ एरो चाहिँ ब्लन्डर, मिसकाउन्टिङ चेन लेन्थ एन्ड ब्लन्डर. एन्ड मिसरिडिङ मिस्टेक चाहिँ इरोनियस ब्लकिङ. एन्ड टेपर चेन करेक्सन चाहिँ करेक्सन फर स्ट्यान्डर्डाइजेसन एन्ड थर्मल एक्सपान्सन. सिए इज इक्वल्स टु अल्फा टिएम माइनस टी नट into L. And coefficient of thermal expansion Tm mean field temperature, T0 stand temperature, L length measurement. Correction for slope CS is equals to L minus root under L square minus H square is equals to H square by 2L is equals to L minus L cos theta. Okay, यो चाहिँ हो भने L slope distance, elevation difference र slope angle. Correction for hypotential allowance भने allowance 100 sec theta minus link. And accuracy and precision in survey. Accuracy degree of closeness, accuracy भने degree of closeness to the true value. Accuracy depends on precision, precise instrument, correct method and good planning. Precision degree of perfection, degree of perfection in instrument, method and observation. True error difference between measured value and actual volume. Source of error instrumental fault in equations. And personal चाहिँ human mistakes, natural environmental effect, wind slope and temperature. Kind of error चाहिँ systematic, cumulative र accidental. compensating error systematic cumulative भने same direction and predictable. and accidental चाहिँ random tend to cancel out. and the degree of accuracy in chaining चाहिँ inverse steps, spring balance and thermometer 1:10,000 र स्टिल टेप प्लम बब चेन पब 1:2000. टेस्टेड चेन प्लम बब 1:1000. चेन अन्डर एभरेज कन्डिसन 1:500. चेन अन राउन्ड रफ हिल ग्राउन्ड चाहिँ 1:250. क्विक रेफरेन्स चेन चाहिँ गुन्टर लेन्थ 60 फिट, गुन्टर 66 फिट. इन्जिनियर चेन 1000. रेभिन्यू 33. स्टिल मेट्रिक ब्यान्ड 20 देखि 30 मिटर. त्यसपछि लिङ्क गुन्टर 100 लिङ्क, एक लिङ्क बराबर 0.66 फिट, टु लिङ्क बराबर 1.2 फिट. र इन्जिनियर 100 लिङ्क, ब्रेस ट्याप्ड एट एभ्री 10 लिङ्क्स. एन्ड 100. अनि त्यसपछि रेभिन्यू 16 लिङ्क, 1 लिङ्क इज गस टु 33/16 फिट. र स्टिल मेट्रिक ब्यान्ड मिन्स एक्युरेट बट fragile. Okay, key point direct chaining is the most accurate among pacing. Odometer or passometer. Line range is used for direct ranging. Small error are frequent, large error rare. Positive negative error of equal size occur equality. And condition for error चाहिँ इरोनियस लेन्थ अफ चेन कुमुलेटिभ प्लस माइनस हुन्छ. अर टेप चाहिँ प्लस माइनस. त्यसपछि अर टेपमा चाहिँ प्लस. त्यसपछि ब्याट रेन्जिङ कम्पेन्सेटिङ प्लस माइनस. केयरलेसनेस होल्डिङ एन्ड मार्किङ प्लस हुन्छ ब्याट स्ट्रेथिङ प्लस नन हराइजेन्टल्ली प्लस माइनस स्यागिङ चेन चाहिँ प्लस माइनस भेरिएसन इन टेम्परेचर कम्पेन्सेटिङ प्लस माइनस अर कुमुलेटिभ प्लस माइनस भेरिएसन इन पुल प्लस माइनस है त कुमुलेटिभ कम्पेन्सेटिभ होइन प्लस माइनस फरेस्ट सर्वे discrepancy error and change survey discrepancy and error discrepancy difference between two measure value of the same quantity not an error does not reveal magnitude of systematic error types like accidental error systematic compensating र mistake र accidental random error follow probability theory systematic error occur under same condition always same size and sign predictable compensating error combination of cause behind observed control tend to cancel out mistake arise from inattention carelessness confusion or inexperience and accuracy closeness of measure value to true value accuracy precision degree of perfection in instrument method and observation probability of error small error occur more frequency large error are rare relative error of closure perimeter traverse okay and relatives error of closure perimeter travel and perimeter of travel total error error of closure is p by e okay chaining survey define surveying method where only linear measurement are made and suitable for small area open grounded few obstacle principal chaining triangulation skeleton framework of triangles triangle plotted from site measure in the field त्यसपछि सर्वे स्टेसन भने मेन स्टेसन start end point of survey line subsidiary tie station point along chain line to connect main station survey line main survey line connect main survey station baseline longest main survey line refer for plotting check proof line run to check accuracy join apex to opposite side or to point on triangle and tie line connect subsidiary station to main line used to make detail on nearly objectives offset perpendicular offset angle 90 degree oblique offset angle 90 भन्दा तलमाथि हुन हुन्छ definition larger distance of an angle for survey line okay step in change survey reconciliation survey work from whole part work are fixed but survey line positions and prepare reference sketch marking survey station running survey line and instrument for setting right angle cross steps भने simplest set right angle optical square more convenient and accurate than cross steps prism square modern and precision side square cylindrical metal case with two telescope at 90 degree method of erect perpendicular 345 method use tape to mark perpendicular point arc method another tape base method and obstacles in chaining sign obstacle to ranging but not chaining end of line not intervisible from intermediate point use reciprocal ranging chaining survey obstacles and key pointहरु चाहिँ obstacle in chaining obstacle to ranging but not chaining end of the line are not intervisible. Both end visible from intermediate point use reciprocal ranging, and both end not visible from intermediate point hill. Draw random line, erect perpendicular from 2 point, prolong line. Obstacle to chaining but not ranging. Changing difficult, Chaining difficult but line can be ranged. Possible to chain around obstacle, pond and hedge. Impossible to chain around is obstacle, river and streams. Obstacles to BOTF, both chaining and ranging. Example, building or large permanent structure. Quick example of remember. And pond, obstacles to chaining only. Then building, obstacles to both chaining and ranging. Chain surveying, key concepts and definition. Surveying method use only linear measurement in the field. Check proof line run to verify accurate of measurement. And offset sign, lateral distance of an object from a survey line. Reconnaissance survey feasibility, investigate difficulties and plan survey line. Instrument and method sign, field book चाहिँ oblong book 20 centimeter into 12 centimeter, open lengthwise, chain line represented by single line, large scale, detail work done from bottom upward, double line, loss detail, baseline, first plotted reference line used to plot triangle, and plotting and verification sign. Orientation, north side of survey should be top and central place. Verification, measure check line on plan, compare with field measurement. If discrepancy exceed limit, remeasure. Forest survey and it important in field measurement चाहिँ forest measurement important of forest survey support के गर्छ preparation and updating of forest operational plan, inform decision making at local, provincial and national level, enhance transparency in forest governance, provide baseline for payment for ecosystem service and rate plus. Purpose, why forest surveying, data collection. Why forest surveying? Data collection, field measurement, remote sensing for tree characteristics, eastern density, soil and water. Wildlife, biodiversity assessment, evaluate plant and animal diversity to monitor forest health. Forest health monitoring चाहिँ detailed detailed disease, pest and invasive species, and carbon sequestration. Okay, carbon sequestration, estimate carbon stock in biomass and soil to support climate mitigation. Resource inventory, assess timber, non-timber forest product, water and recreation value for sustainable use. Spatial planning, map forest type and conservation priority area. Policy and decision support, provide data for management plan and inform policy making. And compass survey and labeling concepts चाहिँ definition of method to determine the direction or bearing of a line or boundary using a compass. And application, small scale survey like property boundary, construction layout and basic mapping. Prismatic compass चाहिँ measure line bearing using magnetic north. Okay, surveyor compass, prismatic, surveyor compass, alternative compass used in plane table survey. Chain and tape, measure linear distance. Ranging rod, line, survey line. Tripod, stand, hold compass and steady. Type of bearing, whole circle, WCB, measure clockwise from north देखि 0 देखि 360. Reduce bearing, quadrantal bearing, measure from north or south towards east and or west 0 देखि 90 degree in its east quadrant. type of meridian, true meridian, direction, true meridian, direction of geometrical north, magnetic meridian, direction shown by magnetic needles, and arbitrary meridian, choose reference direction for convenience, and local attraction चाहिँ caused by magnetic disturbance near the compass, metal objective, electric lines, and detect when forbearing and back bearing differ by 180 degree plus minus, cross using observational techniques or mathematical adjustment, forbearing and back bearing, forbearing in the direction of survey progress, back bearing in the opposite direction, ideal back bearing is equals to forbearing plus minus 180, back bearing is equals to forbearing plus minus 180, adjusted for compass error, traverse series of connected survey line forming at open or closed polygon, bearing and distance are recorded to plot map and compute area, plotting tools चाहिँ protractor plot angle and bearing, scale represent distance accurately, and scale चाहिँ represent distance accurately on paper, drawing sheet graph paper draw the survey line, and we can see quadrant bearing to true bearing, and north 20 degree east and south 45 degree west भनेको होल सर्कल बेरिङ, एन्ड 0 देखि 90 डिग्री म के लेख्ने अर्थ म्याग्नेटिक फिल्ड एन्ड डिप, म्याग्नेटिक फिल्ड अर्थ म्याग्नेटिक फिल्ड लाइन रन जनरली फ्रम साउथ टु नर्थ है, साउथ टु नर्थ नियर द इक्वाटर, magnetic field and dip line are parallel to earth surface, magnetic meridian horizontal projection of these lines on the earth surface, angle of dip angle made by magnetic line of force with the earth surface, variation northern hemisphere भने needle point downward towards north, southern hemisphere needle point downward towards south, magnetic pole deep भने 90 degree vertical, इक्वाटर मा चाहिँ 0 degree horizontal, magnetic needle चाहिँ made of hardened steel and pivot supporter, and compensation section coil, brass wire around needle to balance dip, and position adjustable according to local dip, designation of bearing, okay, designation whole circle bearing, okay, whole circle bearing azimuthal, okay, bearing measure clockwise magnetic north 0 देखि 360 use in prismatic compass, quadrant अर्थात reduce bearing, east and west for north and south and is north 0 देखि 90, and bearing is equals to plus minus, back bearing is equals to for bearing plus minus 180 फर्मुला है त, traversing survey method where interconnected lines from a framework, measure direction and length of survey line using angle and chain or tape, okay. Magnetic declination horizontal angle between true meridian and magnetic meridian, east of true north positive र eastern declination र west of true north negative western declination, true bearing फर्मुला चाहिँ ट्रु बेरिङ एउटा ट्रु बेरिङ चाहिँ म्याग्नेटिक बेरिङ प्लस माइनस म्याग्नेटिक डिक्लाइनेसन है त ट्रु बेरिङको, त्यसपछि डिक्लाइनेसन, ओके, we can see true meridian, line passing through geographical north and south poles. Magnetic meridian, direction indicated by a freshly suspended magnetic needles. And magnetic bearing चाहिँ एङ्गल बिट्विन म्याग्नेटिक मेरिडियन एन्ड अ सर्वे लाइन. त्यसपछि गएर चाहिँ क्यान सी यहाँ हेरौँ नर्थ पोल यो भइहाल्यो. त्यसपछि गएर चाहिँ यहाँ नर्थ पोलबाट ट्रु मेरिडियन, यो एउटा नर्थ पोल ट्रु मेरिडियन हो र ट्रु बेरिङ यो भयो र म्याग्नेटिक बेरिङ यो भयो र म्याग्नेटिक मेरिडियन चाहिँ यो भयो है त. लोकल एट्र्याक्सन आयो अब दामी लोकल एट्र्याक्सन. any influence that prevent the magnetic needle from pointing north in a given locality is underground pipes, steel chain and axe saw. Type of error: instrumental, personal and natural error. Detection of local attraction. Observe force or back bearing at each line and find the distance. If forbearing minus back bearing is equals to 180, both stations are free from local attraction. If difference चाहिँ 180 भन्दा तलमाथि भने लोकल एट्र्याक्सन एक्जिस्ट. ओके, at one or both station. Avoid attraction due to personal items is not considered local attraction. And elimination of local attraction error. First method, based on bearing. Bearing expressed in quadrantal bearing system. First and third quadrant numerical bearing increase clockwise, and second and fourth quadrant चाहिँ bearing increase anti-clockwise. Positive correction चाहिँ clockwise, negative र counter clockwise. Second method चाहिँ based on angle. Calculate include angle at all station. For a close traverse, sum of interval angle 2n minus 2 minus 4 into 90 degree हैन. ओके, 2n minus 4 into 90 degree. त्यसपछि गएर चाहिँ डिस्ट्रिब्युट इरर इक्वाली एलोङ एङ्गल. एन्ड bearing of other line calculated for line from line different by 180 degree. Main point remember चाहिँ open traverse suitable for road, close travel lake and forest. त्यसपछि नर्थ क्वाड्रेन्ट चाहिँ रिड्युस बेरिङ इज 360 होल सर्कल बेरिङ माइनस होल सर्कल बेरिङ. इक्जाम्पल फरवर्ड बेरिङ एबी 129, लोकल एट्र्याक्सन 2 डिग्री वेस्ट. ट्रु बेरिङ चाहिँ 307. ओके, र यस क्वाड्रेन्ट आर रिड्युस बेरिङ होल सर्कल बेरिङ माइनस 180, रिड्युस बेरिङ 135 बराबर 45. साउथ 45 इस्ट, साउथ वेस्ट क्वाड्रेन्ट. पर्सनल इरर साउथ वेस्ट है त, नर्थ इस्ट. पर्सनल इरर लाइन अफ स्लाइट not through center of ring in compass. Whole circle bearing and reduce bearing conversion. Back bearing of 275 degree भने 275 minus 180 is equal to 90. and compass survey instrument चाहिँ prismatic compass, surveyor र planimeter र leveling. Prismatic graduated on whole circle bearing, sighting or reading simultaneous, tripod optional. Survey Compass graduated on reduced bearing, sighting and reading not simultaneous, require tripod, and planimeter determine area of figures, and labeling for vertical measurement and contouring, and चाहिँ magnetic declination भने horizontal angle between true meridian and true meridian and magnetic meridian को horizontal distance नै magnetic declination हो. आइसोजेनिक लाइन भने point of same declination भने चाहिँ आइसोजेनिक लाइन हो. सेकुलर भेरिएसन भने periodic change in declination चाहिँ secular variation. Isogenic line and secular variation, magnetic declination, and isogenic line and secular variation. Local attraction prevent magnetic needle from indicating true meridian. Okay, leveling general concept saying technique to determine relative height elevation of point on earth surface. Purpose construction, engineering, mapping, road, canal design, drainage, topographic map. Okay, key concept चाहिँ level instrument चाहिँ telescope plus leveling bubbles, established horizontal line of sight, benchmark चाहिँ fixed reference point with known elevation, level instrument, benchmark, leveling rod, grounded rod for taking reading, height of instrument चाहिँ height of instrument is equals to RL benchmark plus BS. Okay, rise level benchmark plus BS backside. RL is equal next point is equals to height minus foresight. Foresight is equals to previous setup, backside next setup, sighting type backside, foresight र instrument level. Okay, first reading backside, first reading on known elevation, foresight last reading on unknown point, intermediate sign reading between backside and foresight without moving instrument. Leveling method चाहिँ differential leveling हैन, precise elevation difference, and profile leveling, ground profile along a path, trigonometric leveling, use trigonometry, and spring leveling चाहिँ most precise use optical level staff. Leveling principle चाहिँ level line perpendicular to plumb line, elevation referred to datum, azium or mean sea level, and station point where rod is placed, and height of instrument is equals to backside mine plus RL हैन RL is equals to height of instrument minus foresight, and check and accuracy arithmetic check चाहिँ EBS minus EFS is equals to RL. EBS minus EFS is equals to RL last minus RL first equal BS backside र foresight distance recommended. rise foresight भन्दा चाहिँ प्रिभियस रिडिङ चाहिँ बढी हुन्छ, फलमा चाहिँ foresight बढी हुन्छ प्रिभियस रिडिङ भन्दा. र कन्टुर डेफिनेसन इमेजिनरी लाइन जोइनिङ पोइन्ट अफ इक्वल एलिभेसन, कन्टुर इन्टरभल vertical distance between consecutive contour line, contour interval, horizontal equivalent, horizontal distance between point on consecutive contour. Rule चाहिँ contour line cannot cross except vertical cliffs हैन, cave, close line, steep poles, slopes and far apart, gentle slopes and equally spaced uniform slopes, close contour with higher inside and hill र लोयर इन्साइड भयो भने डिप्रेसन हुन्छ। सिआई सेलेक्सन चाहिँ फ्ल्याट ग्राउन्डमा चाहिँ 0.2 to 0.1 मिटर र हाई हिल्ली ग्राउन्डमा 1 to 10 मिटर, माउन्टेनसमा चाहिँ 10, 25 र 50 मिटर। एप्लिकेबल इंटर visibly slope gradient and drainage area, reservoirs capacity, earthwork measurement, and you can see, look at this benchmark, backside foresight, त्यसपछि लेभलिङ, चेक लाइन, इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट हैन, ओके, एन्ड यू क्यान सी हामी हेर्न सक्छौँ। प्लेन टेबल सर्वे definition, a simple and quick survey method where field observation and map plotted are done simultaneously. Scale mainly used for small to medium scale map 1:10,000 to 1:2,50,000. Advantage same time plotting done on site, reduce missing detail, economical and require less skill manpower, and angle measure graphically, not with instrument like a theodolite, and accessory use चाहिँ plane table board for plotting, LED for sighting and drawing line, tripod to support the plane table, and label tube चाहिँ split label to label the table, compass चाहिँ for orientation, plumbing fork for centering the station point, and setting up the plane table कसरी सेटिङ गर्ने, centering operation of bearing the plotted station point exactly over the ground station, checked use of plumbing fork, and large scale mapping भयो भने exact centering रिक्वायर्ड हुन्छ। स्मल स्केल म्यापिङ भयो भने इरर अप टु 30 सेन्टिमिटर पर्मिसेबल, एन्ड लेबलिङ चाहिँ ब्रिङिङ द प्लेन टेबल टु हराइजेन्टल प्लान एन्ड ड्रोन युजिङ अ स्पाइरिट लेबल, ओरिएन्टेसन चाहिँ keeping the table parallel to it positive at the first station method, orientation with a drop compass not suitable in an area affected by local attraction, plane the compass on the top right corner of the table, draw north south line along edge, okay, at the next station rotate the table unit, the needle align with the previous north south line, orientation by back sighting चाहिँ most accurate हुन्छ, set the table on a new station, place LED along the line joining the new station with previous station, rotate table unit line of sight, bisect previous station, clamp the board, ensure plotted line represented ground line accuracy, resection भने method of renting the plane table by locating position relative to known point, detailed discussed separately under resection method, and method of plane table चाहिँ radiation, traversing, intersection र resection, radiation RTR रेडिएसन मेथड, ट्राभर्सिङ, इन्टरसेक्सन र रिसेक्सन मेथड हुन्छ। अब त्यसपछि कम्पास मेथड, ब्याक रे मेथड र 3 पोइन्ट प्रब्लम्स, ओके, र 2 पोइन्ट प्रब्लम, रेडिएसन मेथड, ओके, इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट सेट अफ अ सिंगल स्टेशन, red drawn to other point to be plotted, distance to point measure and scale on the map. Suite for small area where points are visible and accessible from the station can be extended using tachyometric meter for longer distance. Plan table survey method चाहिँ traversing method. Okay, similar to compass or theodolite traversing, but rougher and used mainly for direct plotting of topographical detail. Involve a series of connected straight line, traverse line, and angle are not measured. Line are plotted directly. Station travels usually run between stations where position are already fixed by theodolite traverse or triangulation. Proceed at its station, set up the plan table, take a back side to the previous station, take a forward side to the next station, plot the line on paper paper to suitable scales and measure as measurement are taken. Instrument method भने graphical triangulation used when the object station is far or difficult to measure directly. Position of object found by sighting each from two known plane table station. The line connecting the two known station is called the baseline. Only the baseline line need to be measured, no other distance required. And resection method used to locate a plane table station whose position is not yet plotted on the map. Involve drawing ray to known point already plotted. Intersection array gives the location of the instrument stations. Correct orientation is crucial for accuracy. Use require only one distance measurement. Resection techniques say compass method suitable for small area without magnetic disturbance. Table oriented with a compass. Ray drawn from two known point AB to locate unknown station C. And back ray method, start at station A, draw a ray to C, move table to C, orient using back ray from A, draw ray to B. Intersection gives point C on map. And 2 point problem side. Okay, up use two known station A and B, or temporary station D is used to estimate C. Move table to C, drawn ray from A and B, accurately fix C. And using resection and orientation adjustment. 3 point problems I use three known point already plotted. Method mechanical, tracing paper, graphical, trial and error. Lehman method give precise positioning of unknown stations, we can see. And radiation method, plan table survey. And type of map and their use. Okay, a map shown various features using conventional sign and symbols. Prerequisite for map reading is scale of map. Okay, represent natural reliefs, feature hill, valley and streams. Conventional sign represent artificial features, road, building, gates, culvert. Orientation, north direction on map should coincide with actual geographical north. त्यसपछि गएर reducing on enlarging map, scale reproduction. Graphical, mechanical, photographic method चाहिँ graphical method चाहिँ use method of square or proportional compass. Mechanical using panthographs or ideographs based on similar triangle. Photographic method चाहिँ using specially designed cameras. And copying map चाहिँ picking use prink or fine needles. Tracing using tracing frame or copying glasses, copying on tracing paper on cloth, transfer using carbon paper, ferrotypes, blueprint for permanent copies. Okay, example: traversing series of straight line along angle not measure, intersection only baseline measure used for distance point, resection locate unknown station using known point, map reading known scale orientation and conventional symbol, copying reproducing map, it is known graphical, mechanical, photographic and tracing method. And we can see, and instrument used for forest survey and inventory. In Nepal, forest survey and inventory combine traditional and modern techniques to measure forest parameter, map boundary and monitor change over time. Traditional survey, chain and compass survey, still widely used for determining forest boundary, and particularly in community forest area, provide basics line measurement and orientation of survey lines. And remote sensing and GIS. Okay, remote sensing and GIS पहिला चाहिँ चेन एन्ड कम्पास थियो भने अहिले त्यसपछि रिमोट सेन्सिङ एन्ड जिआइएस, सेटेलाइट इमेज, इक्जाम्पल ऱ्यापिड आई, ल्यान्डस्याट, सेन्टिलाइन होइन, म्याप फरेस्ट कभर एन्ड भेजिटेसन टाइप्स, फरेस्ट चेन्ज ओभर टाइम, सब कुरा पत्ता लगाउनु पऱ्यो, एनालाइज। जिआइएस सफ्टवेयर सपोर्ट डाटा एनालाइसिस, भिजुअलाइजेसन एन्ड फरेस्ट म्याप म्यानेजमेन्ट प्लानिङ, and grouped ground based inventory. Okay, collect detailed data on individual tree and forest stand. Key tree height measurement using clinometer or vertex, and tree diameter measure using caliper or diameter tapes. Species identification to assess biodiversity, stand density and volume help in timber estimation. Canopy cover identity indicate forest health and structure, and specialized equipment चाहिँ vertex I4 and transponder T3 used for precise tree height measurement. Other clinometer, diameter tapes, caliper, reloscope, prisma, GIS device, software and monitoring system चाहिँ forest चाहिँ नेपाल चाहिँ remote sensing, GIS, AI for comprehensive forest analysis. त्यसपछि नेसनल फरेस्ट मोनिटरिङ सिस्टम एनएफएमएस ट्र्याक फरेस्ट कार्बन चेन्ज एन्ड सपोर्ट रेट प्लस इन्टेन्सिभ्स। एन्ड की पोइन्ट टु रिमेम्बर चाहिँ ट्रेडिसनल सर्वे आर स्टिल रिलेभेन्ट फर बाउन्डरी डिमार्केसन। मोडर्न टुल्स लाइक रिमोट सेन्सिङ, GIS enable large scale forest monitoring. Ground based inventory provide detailed tree and stand data. Specialized equipment ensure accuracy in measurement. Software and NFS integrate field and remote data for management and carbon monitoring. Use of GIS in forest survey in Nepal. Okay, in Nepal GIS. In Nepal, global positioning system technology is increasingly used in forest survey, particularly for community forest resource assessment and mapping. When combined with GIS, geographical information system, GIS enhance the accuracy and efficiency of forest survey, producing better map for sustainable forest management and planning. Application of GPS in Nepalese forest survey: community forest boundary survey, and make a verified boundary of community forest, and mandatory before handling over forest management right to locate community resource assessment. GPS data combined with GIS is used to map forest cover, detect land use change and assess availability of forest resources. Updating map चाहिँ help update old forest map, improving their accuracy and usefulness for management and planning. Integration with other survey line: GPS is often combined with chain compass, total station and satellite imagery, produce detailed and reliable forest map. Benefit of using GPS in in forest is increase accuracy, improve efficiency and cost effective. Increase accuracy, provide precise location data compared to traditional method, especially in rough and difficult terrain. Improved efficiency, reduce time and effort needed for surveying, particularly when used with GIS and modern tools. Cost effectiveness, although advanced GPS equipment required an initial investment, it often prove cost effective for cadastral and forest survey in the long run. And better forest management, support planning, monitoring and management of forest resource through accurate map and data. Limitation of GPS in forest survey, dense forest canopy can be GPS signal, causing inaccurate reading in some areas. Difficult terrain, remote or inaccessible forest area may limit GPS effectiveness. Solution in such cases, okay, selection के अरे solution in such cases, combining GPS with other survey method, chain compass, total station in necessary. Key point to remember होइन, GPS plus GIS, high accurate efficiency forest survey, essential for community forest resource assessment and map updating. Limitation exists in dense canopy and rough terrain and often used in combination with traditional survey method for best result. Concept of forest inventory. Forest inventory is a systematic process of collecting, analyzing and interpreting data about a forest characteristic, resources and ecological conditions. Okay, it involves comprehensive assessment, tree and vegetation, soil and terrain, and wildlife and other environmental factors. And purpose of forest inventory भने provide quantitative description of forest condition, including चाहिँ tree species composition, volume, biomass and carbon stocks, growth, regeneration and health status. Support informed decision making for sustainable forest management, conservation planning and policy and operational planning. Forest monitoring in Nepal. Forest monitoring involve regular measurement of forest attribute, assess change over time, guide forest management intervention, include national, province and community based effect. Government forest monitoring systems, central, provincial and district level. Central Ministry of Forest and Environmental Monitoring and Evaluation Division. Provincial level, forest directory monitor government manage forest and support inter district activity. District level division forest office conduct local monitoring. And forest fire monitoring चाहिँ satellite based system developed with Surveyor Himalayan Azimuth and use NASA MODIS for near real time alert. Alert sent by SMS to local official and CFUG. Challenge for forest inventory in Nepal. के इन च्यालेन्ज छ भन्दाखेरि फन्डिङ एन्ड इनकन्सिस्टेन्सी, लङ ग्याप बिट्विन इन्भेन्टोरी, differing methodology and lack of consistent funding, and limiting resources. Okay, weak support for permanent sample plot and alternative resource framework, and out data tools, high reliable on traditional tools, lack of technology transfer and skill training. Difficult terrain, Nepal mountainous geography makes national wide monitoring challenge. Community data exclusion, data for community protected and developed forest not widely recognized at national level. And low budget technical capacity, poor integration of near real time system, shortage of trained personnel, weak internet in rural areas, and key point to remember कस्तो कस्तो पोइन्टहरू रिमेम्बर गर्नु पर्यो फरेस्ट इन्भेन्टरी इज इसेन्सियल फर सस्टेनेबल म्यानेजमेन्ट एन्ड कन्जर्भेसन नेपाल युज अ कम्बिनेसन अफ नेसनल provincial and community level monitoring gps remote sensing and satellite system complement traditional inventory main challenge include funding gap technical limitation and difficult terrain sampling and its types say sampling is a technique used to gather information about the population by selecting a subset of individual or it items from that population. It is widely used in forest inventory, resource and statistical analysis to save time and resource while maintaining accuracy. Random sampling, probability sampling, definition sign. Every member of population has an equal chance of being selected. Advantage reduce bias and ensure the sample is relatively representative of the population. Technique of random sampling. Simple random sampling, systematic simple random sampling. Each member has equal chance of selection. Drawing name from a hat or using random number generation. Systematic select every nth individual from a list. Okay, every 10th person on a membership list. Stratified sampling, population divided into subgroups strata based on a characteristic random sample take from each stratum. Sampling different from forest type or age classes of tree. Cluster sampling. Okay, cluster sampling चाहिँ population divided into cluster, some cluster selected randomly and all member in selected cluster are included. Selecting 5 forest block out of 20 and surveying all tree in those blocks. Multi-stage sampling, combination of cluster and stratified sampling. Sample takes a multiple stage. And forest divided into district subblocks and sample tree in is subblocks. Non-random sampling, not probability sampling. Not every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Advantage convenient for hard to reach population quantitative study. Disadvantage can introduce bias, may not represent entire population. And techniques of non-random sampling चाहिँ convenient, judgmental. Convenient, select the most readily available individual item, surveying only accessible forest plot near the road. And purposive, judgmental भन्छ यो भने चाहिँ deliberately select specific individual item based on criteria. Select only mature tree for timber assessment. र snowball, initial participant referred other potential participant, useful for hard to reach population. Mapping rare medicinal plant by contacting local collector. Quota sampling, researchers choose individual from subgroup to meet predetermined quota. Selecting 20 tree from each species in a mixed forest. And key point random sampling, reduce bias and representatives. Non-random sampling, convenient but may be bias. Stratified and multi-stage sampling, ensure representation of all subgroups. Snowball and purposive sampling, useful for rare species or hard to reach population. Forest resource assessment in Nepal, स्नोबल भने नै त्यही रहेछ क्या, पपुलेसनमा नगइकन कुनै पनि व्यक्तिको स्याम्पल कलेक्सन स्टडी गर्ने सिद्धो। फरेस्ट रिसोर्स एसेसमेन्ट इन नेपाल। Forest resource assessment provide essential information for sustainable forest management, conservation policy formulation and planning. They involves measuring forest stock composition, biomass, biodiversity and other ecological parameter. त्यसपछि periodic assessment, okay, conducting during the renewal of community and national forest operational plan. Focus estimating forest stock and harvestable volume for planning purposes. National forest inventory NFI नेपालले चाहिँ 1963 देखि 76 सम्म चाहिँ फर्स्ट सर्वे भएको थियो र एरियल फोटोज चाहिँ 1900 है